So another question that I get a lot, just because I deal with a bunch of social media stuff, is what's the biggest difference between Reels and or TikTok and posting just regular photos throughout their stream? So I'll let you start just because I'm offering the question up.
Sure. So the big thing to remember with regard to a regular post, let's just talk about Meta. Like, I mean, TikTok, Instagram Reels and TikTok are going to essentially be the same. But to just keep it simple, when you do a post on your page, only the people that follow your page or like your page are going to see that post unless they share it out. Unless you have your page set up as public, which most people would, and somebody decides that they love it enough that they're going to share it out. Then you get the exponential element of it going out to everybody they shared it to, things like that. However, that you're kind of limited to people that follow your page, where they're going to send it, which sort of really limits brand new businesses because oftentimes they don't have a lot of people that are following their page. So you want to reach a broader audience, but you've only got 100 people following your page. It becomes a little bit difficult. So when you do a regular post, and by that I mean an image, a video, a text post, whatever, the only people that are going to see that are the people that either follow or like your page. That's it. When you do a reel, whether that's in Facebook or in Instagram, what that does is it takes the elements involved in that reel and it shows it to anybody that Meta deems or TikTok deems may be interested in that content. So if you've showed an inclination to liking content about, high-end automobiles or whatever, and this reel is about high-end automobiles, you may see that reel. So it exposes you to a lot of people that potentially can see your content that don't like your page, maybe have never even heard of your company before, but now are seeing your reel. I guess the downside of that, if you would consider it a downside, is it's not limited to the geographic area in which you operate. So you could be in Omaha, Nebraska and share a reel that's about something, outdoorsy or whatever, and somebody in Phoenix, Arizona could be seeing your reel based on the fact that their viewing habits indicate that they like consuming outdoor-oriented content. So Meta is going to show them the content even though they're not anywhere close to where you're at. So the benefit, I would say, is if you're trying to build an audience, if you're trying to build what you're doing and you're trying to reach new people, I would say you're much better off to go more the path of reels because you're going to reach new people. Even if it's broader audience that isn't in your geographic area, you're going to continually be reaching new people, where when you do just regular posts, even if it's a video post or a story or anything like that, the only people that are ever going to see that are people that already are aware of your company or already are following your page.
Yeah, and especially it shows up really easy if you use TikTok. So essentially, I'm glad that Facebook finally came out with their Reels just because it gave you another avenue to kind of tap into people who are on the app quite a bit. Even as much crap that Facebook gets, like there's still hundreds of millions of people that are on it daily. So it's nice to have that real function in order to get new people to your Facebook page, your Facebook groups. With Instagram, obviously, it's been one of those things that they kind of took on since TikTok became quite popular. But if you're using TikTok, it's really easy to see because I think everybody that's on TikTok, you're not usually on your following page. So it's all the people that you follow. There's those tabs on the top.
I don't even know that I'm not even sure I follow anybody on TikTok. Like I just go on and consume. Stuff. What's that?
Yeah. You just hit the like button for certain things. So
yeah. I mean, I don't even know that I actually have followed a lot of people on TikTok.
Yeah. So then essentially that's the For You page is essentially just new stuff that kind of, it notices what you're liking. So it kind of gives you things that you're generally tapping that like button. If you like girls dancing and you keep liking it, you're going to see more. If you start finding intellectual content, then chances are you're going to get more content about different things. So that's
even I want to tell people too, it's not just when you like posts either. TikTok and Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels are smart enough to know that it's like, if you're hovering essentially on a post, you don't have to like it, but if you're consuming the better part of the reel before you swipe up and go to the next reel, that is enough to give them an indication that you liked that content, or at least you're consuming that content. So that's going to trigger them to say, okay, what other content is like this content? Because this person seems to like, or at least consume, this type of content. That's one of the scary things, if you will, about, social media. And I was just having a conversation just this morning with somebody about this, and they were asking me about why they don't see certain content on social media and why they see others. And I'm like, it's completely evolving every single time you use it to feed up to you more and more of what you like. So that's where you get into that sounding board sort of element of social media, where, if you like a certain, political bent or whatever the case may be, you're going to find that every time you come onto Meta or TikTok, you're going to see a steady diet of that type of content, because they're going to say, okay, this is what this person seems to resonate with this person. So we're going to give them more and more. So the bad thing about that is you end up seeing sometimes where you're not even seeing differing viewpoints. You're seeing a steady diet of the same thing that you like. So, just be aware of that. But from a marketing standpoint, from a business owner standpoint, which is what we're here to talk about, the benefit of that is if somebody's really into cars, they love cars, and they're consuming a lot of content with regard to automotive things, and you have a TikTok which is related to you doing paint protection film on, a new, Jeep Wrangler 392 or something like that, and these people are really into that type of content, the likelihood is that person's going to see your content, even if they never have heard of your company or know anything about your page. If they really like to consume, in this situation, Jeep content, the likelihood is they're going to see that content because they've shown a propensity to like Jeep content. So that's where it really gives you the ability. I didn't mean to interrupt earlier, but it really gives you the ability to get in front of a lot of people and I've seen that happen with clients, to where we've hit on the right thing, and all of a sudden, hundreds of more people are following their page, and it's because hundreds of people are seeing their piece of content in that reel and have decided, okay, now they're actually following the page. Now they actually are somebody that's going to see your regular post. But as you're trying to build your brand or build your page, reels is a really good way to do that.
No, it's having a balance of both, I think, is key. You can't just focus on one specific thing, because then you kind of neglect the other side. But I was going to say, you nailed it with length of watch. I think that was one of the things both Instagram and TikTok, when they had their new kind of guidelines to their top performers, the length of watch was something that's, and if you have a TikTok account, or I don't know if I can remember where it is on Instagram, if you hit that more data on one of your images, it kind of gives you a guideline of where people fall off. And for the most part, a lot of the TikTok top performers always say you have 3 seconds to hook somebody in, whether it's on Reels or TikTok. So it's one of those things. If you're going to record a message, don't sit there and be like you have to get into it, or just make sure you know how to edit it. And that kind of leads me to the next question.
Well, and by the way, I just want to say that couple second rule is good advice for any content.
Yeah.
Whether it's a regular Facebook post or Instagram, if you literally, when somebody's scrolling on their phone, there's been studies. I mean, social media, they do a lot of studies with regard to this. Meta calls it a thumb pause moment. That's actually the term they use. Because if you think about the way you scroll, when you get to something you want, rather than scroll, you'll stop the scroll by like touching with your thumb, and it stops the scroll essentially. So they view that as a thumb pause moment. So, when you're doing targeted advertising with Facebook, and you wonder, like, how do they get all this detailed demographic information and things like that? A lot of times you don't even have to like a page. And this sort of somebody sometimes gets freaked out and they're like, it's like my phone is listening to me. It's like, no, you're giving them information without you even being aware you're giving them information, because you don't even have to like, you don't have to click on a link, whatever. If you're just scrolling your Facebook feed and you just pause over a certain post, that's enough for Meta to register that caught this person's attention. And now they're going to, within the big data that they operate on, know that we're going to, if I want to target somebody that likes that type of content, it allows me to put it in front of them. So whenever you're creating, back to my original point, whenever you're creating content, realize that you have about 2 to 3 seconds from the time your content enters the bottom of somebody's screen till the time that they scroll it out of the top of their screen. If you don't catch their attention with the visual, the first sentence of copy, whatever the case may be, if you don't do something to create that thumb pause moment, your content is going to be passed by.